What up? Watch the Throne Fantasy Football Show, episode 14. Somewhat of a Christmas episode. It's December 11th.
We're almost there. 2 weeks from Christmas?
2 weeks from Christmas.
My gosh, where is the time gone?
Dude, it flies every year.
Every year.
December rolls around, and you're like, I got a little bit of time to get gifts.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny? I was like, I'm going to go Christmas shopping. Still haven't done it.
Right. And
I've done a little
bit. Your week of Christmas, and you're like, oh, I got to go buy gifts. And then you go, and they're out of everything.
Are we politically correct, though? It should be Happy Holidays.
Holiday shopping?
Happy Holiday shopping.
Holiday shopping?
You know? We support all holidays.
Yeah. Happy holiday shopping.
Yes.
But holiday shopping is, it catches up, and it comes up really quick, and it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the analogy of rocket taking off. Then before you know it, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I admire the people that go to Marshalls and like Burlington and buy gifts and Ross.
Yeah,
it can never be me, but I kudos to them because they're smart. I'm unfortunately one that likes to spoil people, so it's all name brand stuff over here.
Yep, I feel that.
Even though the people I'm giving it to don't care, but I care.
They might care.
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
My nieces care.
I was going to say, yeah.
They're the most important ones.
Right.
Sure. The rest of them, it's whatever.
It's whatever. I'll give them coal.
Yeah, they can. You know what? I can give them socks at this point. They'll be happy. So
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I should start doing that. Just socks for everyone except for the girls.
Listen, I had someone get me socks for Christmas, and I was grateful. It was like the cool socks.
I need socks right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are all my socks? Thank God the camera's not on our feet. I'm not wearing socks. I'm wearing sandals with no socks.
He's got no socks on.
I don't know where my socks went. They're gone. I'm like, I don't know. I don't leave them over anywhere.
If you're watching this and you need someone to get socks for Christmas for.
Socks. I need socks. I do. So I like the Nike, not the no shows, but like the very lowest ones.
Yeah.
Those are my style.
Like not the ankle, but a
Kinda
little lower than the ankle.
Yeah. Either one. One of those is fine. Don't give me the high ones. Black preferably.
Okay.
Don't give me the high ones.
Okay.
The higher the sock, the downer the full. That's not me.
Hey, what's up, fool?
I'm not down.
You're not down?
I'm more up. No, I prefer the shorter ones.
Okay, if you're trying desperately to get someone socks for Christmas and you have no one to get socks for Christmas for.
But I'm particular. They have to be Nike.
Okay.
Or no brand on the sock. Like I'll take blank black socks.
Yep.
Can't have no brands on them though.
Okay.
If it says Hanes or
Levi's,
whatever,
yep.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm trying
Fruit
to think
of the Loom.
Sure, yeah. But there's one. Oh my God, I have one in my head and I can't think of it at Burlington that I see all the time.
Is it a red and white brand?
That's Hanes. It was like back in our day, in the 2000s, with like the lizard logo. Like I want to say it starts with a G. Maybe I'm just thinking of Geico. It'll come to me later. I'll come up with it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I might have to get you socks for Christmas.
I would appreciate that. But anyways,
what do I want for Christmas?
What do you want for Christmas? Tell me. Maybe because next week.
Let's see. If I get you socks, would you get me a new camera lens?
Is that about even?
Yeah, about even.
We'll make it work.
I'll get you $900 worth of socks. You'll never go without socks again, and you'll get me one lens.
I was gonna say maybe a hat. I feel like that's even.
Yeah, hats are fine.
I'll get you a hat. I think that you'll like.
Yeah, hats are fine. I have so many hats. I got to throw out a bunch.
You do
of
have
hats.
a lot of hats.
I have too many.
I need new hats. Actually, I need all these new things. I don't go shopping anymore.
You're looking to get someone a hat for Christmas.
I don't go shopping anymore. I don't go. I'm just like whatever at this point.
Same.
I've hit that age where I just don't care.
Most of the stuff that we get is either like, oh, you have to have this for work,
right?
Or it's a gift from someone,
or comfortable, just something comfortable to wear.
Yeah, for sure. So. As I sit here in sweats and an oversized T-shirt.
Yeah.
And you're in.
I had a hoodie, but it was hot in here.
Yeah.
We had to open the door.
But we're both in comfy clothes today.
Always comfy.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Two warm guys.
We're going into the playoffs.
I'm so excited.
You're 1 seed in.
2 seed.
2 seed. You're 2 seed in
CBS.
The CBS league that we're both in.
Yes.
I did not make the playoffs in that one. I'm 2 seed.
Which one? Which button is the? We need one of the buttons. Here, let's try this one. Let's try this one. It's not doing anything.
Probably because I don't have the effects up.
Oh, which one is? Oh, okay. Go ahead. Push that green one. There it is. That's the one I was looking for.
Well done. I am the 2 seed in
Yahoo,
the other league that you and I are both in.
10-man league, yep.
And you.
Oh, that team is Go ahead. You can press it 3 times.
You didn't make the playoffs in that one?
Do you want me to say the record?
No, you just had to say you didn't make playoffs.
I did not make the playoffs in that one. Not even close.
So we're like polar opposites in our 2 leagues. You were the 2 seed. I was a 2 seed. And then I didn't make it. You didn't. You were what?
I'll say my record.
Sure.
I have no shame. It is what it is. I feel like everyone's been here. I was 1-13. My team was either all busts or injured. Rasheed Rice, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk.
Your team got dismantled.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, tough.
And then C.J. Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Travis Etienne were busts.
Tough to see. That was just a tough season.
This is the worst draft I've ever had in my life. It will never happen again, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I mean, crazy. Some of the names you listed off, though, the potential was there.
They were good until they got hurt.
And then Rasheed Rice was balling.
Rasheed Rice was amazing.
Yeah. So
it is that's fantasy. That's the name of the game.
Yep.
How many leagues do you have?
I have 5.
How many of them did you make playoffs in?
2. Not good. Not a good ratio.
Do you feel comfortable with those 2 teams, though? Do you feel confident? Like you could win it all?
I feel very confident with 1.
Okay.
The Yahoo League.
Okay.
I feel so with the 2 quarterback sleeper league that I'm in. It's a keeper league. I feel better about my team probably in 2 years, which is good for a keeper season.
Okay.
Keeper team.
That's fair.
But there's some better teams in that league, I would say. I'm 7-7 in that one.
You're in there, you got a chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Shock the world.
Yes.
6 leagues.
Yep.
4 playoffs.
Okay.
I actually truly, and I'm being honest, I truly feel like I could win in every single league. I probably won't, but I feel very confident about my teams that I have. I do have a who should I start for you later. Yep. We'll get to that.
Yep.
But I feel very confident. I know one of the leagues, something's going to happen, something crazy, as is all fantasy playoffs.
Yep.
I'm the 2 seed in 2 leagues, 3 seed in another, and then I snuck in at the 6th seed in another.
Okay.
So I had to win 4 straight to get in.
Nice, and you did it.
And I'm the 6th, and 8-6.
Hell yeah.
7-7 did not get you in the playoffs.
Wow. Yeah, that's how I am in one of my leagues. I'm 7-7, didn't make playoffs.
When we were talking about it off air, it was either your leagues were either very top heavy and like really good teams or really bad teams.
Yep.
Or everyone's kind of in the middle.
Yep.
There was no in between. Like, usually there's a fair, like these teams are good, these teams are average or above average, these teams are average, these teams are just bad. You were either really good or really bad.
Right.
In most, or you're all just competitive in one league.
Yeah, the one league where I'm 7-7, I somehow, that's a 12-team league. 7-7, I was the 9 seed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Is that crazy or what?
7-7 usually gets you in.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was there was like 5 of us that at one point I think were 6-6 or something crazy.
I hope you win one of them.
I hope I feel confident in the Yahoo one.
You have a really good team.
I feel confident there. We'll see how it goes with that Week 16 Lamar matchup. But
Lamar and Saquon are just nasty to have.
Yeah, Chase. So blessed.
Kyron.
Blessed.
Oh my God, that's so disgusting.
Blessed.
I might change my mind.
So 4 for 6. That's pretty good. That's a good ratio.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
One really bad team. One team that's 6-8. It's a weird league. It's 2 quarterbacks, 14 teams.
Yeah.
It's a weird league, and the scoring's all like individual defensive players. It's a different.
Man, I love that, but
yeah. It's just too many. It's like 8 players.
Sure.
8 individual. IDP? Yes, on each team in a 14-man league.
Were you in the league when we did only IDP?
No.
You started only defensive guys.
Yeah,
and
you
had
guys
them on the bench. That was fun.
But you only had one, right?
What do you mean?
One individual defensive player?
No.
Oh, you had multiple.
We had an entire league where we had 2 linemen,
right?
2 defensive ends.
Oh, so you had multiple. Okay.
3 linebackers. We did like a 4-3 base defense every week, dude.
I guess when I was younger, that would have been cool. But now I'm like,
we were younger.
I don't want to do this.
We were younger for sure. But
it's too much to keep up with.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think that's one league I'll probably cut out next year.
The one with IDPs.
Yeah.
I get
2 quarterbacks on a 14-team league too.
Yeah, that's
so all but 4 starting quarterbacks.
They're doing the most. Is it like 1.5 PPR too? Are they doing the weird stuff?
It's like a half point PPR, but it's not like even 0.1 for every 10 yards. It's it's like 0.2 or 0.1 for every 20. Or I don't know. It's weird.
They just went. Yeah, they went ham. They pushed the limits where they could.
I couldn't even tell you what the scoring was, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just I put my lineup in and hopefully I win.
Yeah, it sounds like a league you could drop for sure.
I'm gonna drop it.
4 out of 6, 2 out of 5, not good enough for me. But I will say, I have the greatest 4-win fantasy football team ever assembled.
I think you got to let this go.
Ever assembled. I'm only doing this anecdote for the guys in the CBS.
Listen, this is you got to.
Josh Allen,
great quarterback.
James Cook, he fell
I was
off,
definitely wrong on
but
James Cook. Yeah, he started hot.
He's still good.
He's still a good running back. Still want to have him.
I had Pickens. I had Marvin Harrison. Whatever.
Pickens was cold in the beginning, and then
Yes.
Russ came in. He played better, so I can see where you would pick up some losses in the beginning. Marvin Harrison was inconsistent.
I think the problem for me was I lost 3 games by like a combined score of less than 10. So had I won any of those, I could have been 7 and whatever. I don't know if that would have got me in for that league, 7-7, but
it wouldn't have.
Yeah, and I didn't. My points for wasn't great anyways.
Yeah.
So
you didn't even mention your biggest bust.
Who?
Your first round pick, Tyreek.
Yeah, golly, man.
He was not good this year.
Tua getting hurt sucks.
That too. Yeah. Even with Tua, though.
I think if you have Tyreek right now, though, this is a good segue into the playoff stuff, I would say. I think if you have Tyreek right now,
you're playing him.
Oh, and with confidence.
And
I think he's him and Waddle the offense is finally.
Last week, finally they showed up.
And I think it's going to remain the rest of the year. Like I predicted, someone said early on, they said of the AFC teams that are like near the bottom, trash or whatever, who's going to come out? Is it Bengals? Is it Dolphins? Is it Colts? I said, it's Miami. And
to make it into like the real playoffs, and then okay.
And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Tua's been out. He's going to take a couple weeks to come back around. They had one loss that they should have won. I can't remember to who after Tua came back.
Arizona.
That's who it was.
I bet it.
Yep. And and that hurt. That really hurt them. But I think the offense is still Miami's offense. Tyreek is still fastest boy. And, Waddle still can catch a slant and go 80.
You know what's crazy is I don't know how many.
Jonnu Smith is the greatest tight end to ever play.
Jonnu's been great in this offense. People probably don't remember Jalen Waddle was a number 1 before Tyreek got there. Like his rookie year, most catches, if I'm not mistaken, most catches in a rookie season all time. Jalen Waddle was that dude even before Tyreek. Now they added Tyreek. And yes, the offense, they both were able to get off and have their numbers a couple years ago. Last year, Jalen Waddle struggled. This year, they both struggled. They picked it up last week, so you hope that's a sign to come, especially if I have Jalen Waddle in one league, but I feel like most Tyreek Hill owners are out of the playoffs. I don't see Tyreek Hill in a lot of playoffs, at least in my leagues that I'm in.
Right.
I think he was a league loser.
Yeah.
If we do a recap show, he would be up there.
I hear that. Yep.
So, yeah, he might come around, but it might be too little too late.
I was going to say, are you even in the playoffs then at that point?
I feel like if you have
one team I own Tyreek Hill in, not in the playoffs.
The one team I had him in, I'm not in either. I had him in the 2-quarterback league.
Tyreek Hill, league loser.
Yeah. Wow. I would put him up there.
I'm curious, if you watch this and you're not one of our friends, if you had Tyreek Hill, yes, you made the playoffs. No, you didn't make the playoffs. Even if you're one of our friends, you had him in another league. That's a good question.
And let's hear your record.
Yeah, how many
people are in your league?
Yep. And
I think you could still make it if in a 10-man league, if let's just say 6 make it.
Sure.
You might have gotten in there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a 12-man league, I almost guarantee you didn't get in there with Tyreek.
Because Tyreek was your first-round pick, regardless.
Yeah, he went top 5.
Yeah, so, curious. How about him and CeeDee Lamb?
CD had a better season. I think CD's actually not bad. The thing CD's missing is touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's not getting the touchdowns he did last year. But he's getting the catches and he's getting the yards for the most part. Obviously, it's taking a step back. But he's been a really solid wide receiver too.
This is interesting.
Whereas I think Tyreek was at best a flex.
He's been bad. I really want to look into this and see.
Check it out.
How many people that drafted CMC did or did not make the playoffs? How many people that drafted Tyreek Hill did or did not make the playoffs? And I wonder where we could find that type of information.
So there is information like that. I just don't know how to find it either.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. CeeDee Lamb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wide receiver 6 still on the year.
Yeah.
Which is
How about
pretty
Tyreek?
good.
How about Tyreek?
And that's I'm in a league where it's no bonus. I mean, I think there's like a 1 or 2 point bonus at like 100 yards.
Okay.
Tyreek,
Yeah, you got to scroll quite a ways, huh?
wide receiver 15 right now. So it's not as bad as I thought, but still, like if you look at his games though, he's not putting up Tyreek numbers. Tyreek,
No,
we're talking about a top 3 wide receiver
Not at all.
in fantasy the
I think
last
he's
5
only
years.
wide receiver 15 because of what he's done the last couple of weeks.
Right.
You
And
know?
last couple of weeks he had
He's found the end zone.
20 points and 28.
Yep.
So he's had a great couple weeks. That's definitely boosted him up.
I think it's going to continue. I really do. I think this week they play
Houston.
in Houston, in the Dome.
Yeah.
If you have Tyreek and you're going in the playoffs somehow,
start him.
dude,
1,000%.
Him, Waddle, Jonnu Smith.
Yeah. And
Is A-Chain healthy?
A-Chain is healthy.
It's always a question I have to ask you.
So here's the thing I'm going to put out there.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, if you didn't make the playoffs, fantasy loser. But if you're in the playoffs with Tyreek, he could be a fantasy champion.
Correct.
He could be one of those guys that churns it for you.
He has, after Texans, it goes Niners come to Miami. So weather, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the week 6 or 17
At Cleveland. Yeah.
That's tough.
It's a good matchup,
yeah,
numbers-wise, but
Tua in the cold weather.
in the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might as well start another
Although
quarterback.
in New York this past weekend, it didn't look like it was freezing.
Right.
It looked like it was probably a crisp 40.
True.
But yeah.
Good old Tua, man. I like Tua.
I love Tua. Fantasy's more fun too when the Dolphins are explosive like that.
Yeah, it is.
So when you get Waddle and Tyreek Hill just explosive like that, hopefully they're back to that next year. It's more fun.
How about, since we're already talking Dolphins, let's just go to the Texans side of the ball as well.
Okay.
We just talked about in one of our leagues, CJ Stroud is out there on the waiver wire.
And so it is let's preference it. It is a 10-man league.
Yep.
So I would say there's definitely 10 quarterbacks I'd rather start than CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
He's just been so inconsistent. Not inconsistent. He's been a disappointment. He has not put up the numbers that you expected. Now, I know he's lost Stephon Diggs. Nico Collins was hurt for a time.
Yep.
But I still expected more from him. I don't even think he's a top 10 quarterback on the year. Let me go take a look real quick.
He's only got 3,117 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
And I actually might have given you false numbers because I'm looking at what the week 15 projected is. Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb might not even be that. So I apologize.
Snaps.
They might not even be that high. I can check real quick if you want me to correct myself.
CD as wide receiver 6 was crazy. It'd be funny if he's still wide receiver 6.
You know what's funny? In this one, again, he's wide receiver 3, CeeDee Lamb.
Now you're not looking
season
at
total. No, am I right? Hold on. All players, wide receiver, season total. Wide receiver 3.
What?
PPR.
Nah, bro. Season. Yeah, you're right.
Season total. Fantasy points. Because Jamar Chase is 1, Justin Jefferson 2, CeeDee Lamb 3.
That's crazy. Jamar Chase is the number 2 overall fantasy player.
In this, and of course,
in that league,
every league is different.
Wait.
So CeeDee Lamb's number 3?
I know he leads the league in targets. I did know that.
And Tyreek's still here, so I might. Hold on. So 13. Wide receiver 13 for Tyreek.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy still. I mean, they're higher than, but that's kind of crazy. But anyways, back to CJ Stroud. Sorry about that, guys. CJ Stroud, I could honestly name 10 quarterbacks I'd rather start over CJ Stroud. Again, according to this league, and again, every league's different, this is a 4-point per touchdown, passing touchdown.
Yep.
And I'm just going to count real quick. Quarterback 20.
Yeah. No, he's not been good.
Caleb Williams is better.
So the league that I finished 7-7 didn't make the playoffs.
Wow.
I named my team on Stroud 9. I drafted CJ Stroud. I had Nico Collins. Early in the year, they were carrying me, right? Both those dudes.
Quarterback 20. Like, my face is in awe right now.
Yep. And I, since I named my team on Stroud 9, I ignorantly kept rolling the man out there week in and week out. and it cost me.
You know, when I look at the other names, I'm like, I'm not too surprised. Geno Smith, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is surprising a little bit. But the one that I said it already, the name that Caleb Williams has been better than C.J. Stroud. Like, think about that for a second, and how much we kill C.J. Stroud, and he gets it all over the social media and the sports media.
Caleb Williams, you mean?
Caleb Williams, I'm sorry. Yeah. And he's been better than C.J. Stroud. That's wild. If you have C.J. Stroud, please don't start him. There's got to be someone on the waiver wire better.
Yeah, that's tough, man. It's really tough. I hate to even say that. I mean, since Nico Collins has come back, his numbers haven't really even improved that much still.
It's not a great matchup with Miami either.
And it's not, yeah.
Second least points allowed to quarterbacks.
I'm curious, has he gone over 300 at all this year?
I'll tell you in 1 second.
In his last 5, he has not gone over 300, and only one of the games he went over 250.
He has 2 games over 300.
Yeah, see, that's tough. And as a fantasy starting quarterback.
And that was in weeks 4 and 5, and one of them was against Jacksonville. So that's probably when he had all of his weapons.
Yeah, you need, as a fantasy football starting quarterback in a 1-quarterback league, especially a 10-team league, if we're talking 10-team, even 12, you need guys to hit 300 yards, or you need them to run for 100 or 50. You know what I mean? In a rushing touchdown.
You want your quarterback to be able to get 30. Yeah. And C.J. Stroud is not at that point.
Not this year.
His highest, I believe I saw, was 23 points.
Yep. So that's tough. So, I mean, you're not starting Stroud.
Which is crazy because Nico's was having a great year. Nico hasn't been quite the same since he came back, but he's still Nico Collins. I mean, he's doing well.
He's still Nico
But he
Collins.
was blowing it up in the beginning before. And Stephon Diggs was having a good year. So that's the thing that baffles me. But Joe Mixon's having a great year, so they're running the ball as well. So, you're not starting Stroud.
You are starting Nico.
Nico, of course.
Obviously.
Joe Mixon, of course.
Yep.
It's still not great matchups. Miami's got a good defense.
Yep. Are you starting Tank Dell?
Yeah, only if I'm desperate. Here's the thing that I'm trying to separate, too, because I know there's a bunch of who do you start, but we're in the playoffs.
Yep.
We have to assume, like, the 6 teams or the 4 teams, whatever. However many,
these dudes.
You have a good team already.
Yep.
You have your starters. Hopefully you're not like in a decision. I have one decision in one league over a quarterback.
Right.
But hopefully you're not, do I start this guy?
Tank Dell would be if you're in the playoffs and you've had Tank Dell as a flex option all year, that's great.
He you know what? He's actually been pretty good since Diggs got hurt.
I think
solid. He's been a solid flex.
He's a decent flex option. I'm curious how many playoff teams actually have him on the roster and who their other flex options are.
So let's do a couple names. Would you rather start Tank Dell or Devontae Smith?
Devontae Smith.
I like it. Tank Dell or Adam Thielen?
Tank Dell.
Really?
Yep.
I think I go Thielen there.
I don't watch enough Panthers football, I got to be honest.
Oh, Adam Thielen's.
Yeah, he's the main guy there, right?
He killed Cooper DeJean last week.
Ooh.
White on white crime. He just had a crazy game, so I know a lot of people are going to be on him right now. But Jordan Addison or Tank Dell?
Yeah, I think Addison is a start.
I do too.
I think he's not only the last game, but he's been
at least with
the
over
last
Tank.
Few weeks has been pretty good.
I'll give you one more, and I'm just picking on you, unfortunately. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Tank Dell?
Who do the Cardinals have? You know what?
Cardinals have New England.
At New England? Or
no, in Arizona.
I don't know. Probably Tank.
Really?
Probably.
I think
Tank,
I go Marvin still there.
But that's a tough one.
That is. And
so see, we were talking Tank as a flex, so like you could even put running backs out there, right? Like,
true.
Would you rather start Tank or I don't know? I'm trying to think of someone. Justice Hill.
Tank.
Yeah,
that's an easy one.
Justice Hill don't matter, right?
Justice Hill probably should be on the waiver wire.
Yeah, he don't matter.
Yeah, I need better than that.
Yeah, Gus Edwards, no.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because JK's out, no?
Yes, JK's out. Oh, that's a good one. I'd probably go Gus.
Yeah?
I'd probably go Gus Bus.
And then think tight end. Would you play a second tight end? Let's say you have Jonnu Smith as one because you were able to pick him off waiver wire. And you also have Mark Andrews. You playing Tank or Mark Andrews?
I'm probably going with the 2 tight ends there, Mark Andrews and Jonnu. But
how good is Jonnu, dude?
Jonnu's been awesome.
Wow.
I'm actually upset that I didn't get him. I was actually a big fan of his in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tank Dell, he's one of those you hope you don't have to start.
Yep.
But
yep.
If you sometimes you have no choice. And it depends how deep your league is.
We can move on from that game, I think, feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back in time a little bit. Rams and Niners, Thursday night. I know we went to Sunday, Dolphins, Texans, but let's go TNF on Prime.
It's a good match. I'm actually excited for this game tomorrow.
Yeah, I am too, being a Niner guy.
Well, I have quite a few fantasy implications going on tomorrow. This is where I hate being in multiple leagues. I have Kyren Williams in CBS, which is the most important league to me. But then I'm going against Kyren Williams in my second most important league to me. So it's like, the only thing is I have Puka in another league. So I'm rooting for Puka to do better than Kyren Williams, but Kyren Williams to do better than I think I'm going against Brock Purdy. So it's like, so it's got to go Puka, Kyren, then Brock Purdy. And then I'm also playing George Kittle too. So I got some implications.
Yeah, you do. All over the board.
I'm gonna be a roller coaster all weekend. Just gonna be, it's
fantasy playoffs, man.
And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's where grown men tear up.
There's a lot of play. I think the biggest question that I've heard mostly about is Brock Purdy. Do you start Brock Purdy? And I think the answer is yes. Josh Allen, now granted he had 3 rushing, but he just had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
what a performance.
It's not like the Rams did anything really special to slow down Josh Allen. The Bills just missed on some throws. And, I'll give Rams some of the credit, but for the most part, it was the Bills. I think Brock Purdy, I'm actually a little worried. I think Brock Purdy could have a game tomorrow.
Really?
I think he could go for 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
I can see a shootout tomorrow. I think it's going to be a high, this is going to be unusual from Rams, Niners. I see a high-scoring shootout tomorrow.
Interesting.
I think you're going to have some big fantasy games tomorrow.
So we're on the Niners side then. You're going to start Purdy.
I would start Purdy over quite a few guys.
Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, and we just talked about I'm playing Juwan Jennings in CBS, but he benched him. Or as of now. You can always say. He had him in and then took him out for Zay Flowers, which I thought was very interesting.
He's going to watch the pod and he's going to put him back in.
We're not going to post it until later. I don't want to go against that many Niners.
You don't want me to post it until after Thursday night?
Especially if I think it's a shootout. Let's post it. No, I'm kidding. You can post it.
Not the normal 10:30 a.m. release time.
You can release at 10:30. I'm just going to hope he doesn't watch. Or at least tunes in until after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of fantasy points to be had tomorrow. I would even, in a deeper league, I think there's better options, but I would even look at Stafford. I think both quarterbacks are plays here. I think Stafford's more around that QB 10, 11, 12 range. I think Puka is a must start. Kyron's a must start.
Obviously.
I guess the next biggest question would be Debo. I don't start Debo.
Goodness.
Where
did you go, Debo?
You've had 14 weeks to prove it to me. You're clearly not the same.
Where did you go?
There's a lot of wide receivers I'd rather start over Debo.
There's been a lot of photos of Debo where it's like, man's got fat. And that's all the
really
is. They just show pictures of Debo looking like he ate 4 footlongs before I'm like, damn, you guys are brutal. The internet is brutal.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so everyone just says he's just out of shape.
Did he get paid?
Yeah, I think he did.
I can see it then.
Yeah, but I think it was not this offseason. I think it was a couple off seasons back.
Oh, so okay. So something might just be going on differently with him.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but he had that tweet or that X.
Yeah.
Saying, what did he say? Something like, I'm not any different. I'm just not getting the ball or something.
Yeah, like that was very publicized, and then he deleted it.
And then he said, me saying whatever I said isn't trying to take a shot at teammates or anything, y'all something.
You got to be really desperate to play Debo. I think.
God, man, how crazy is that? That dude used to be a walking fantasy football points machine.
He was awesome.
Rushing, receiving.
He was
Tuts.
He was the perfect wide receiver too, because He's not going to get you a bunch of catches, but he's going to get you a bunch of yards, and he's going to score at least once a game. A lot of
touches. They love to give it to him around the end zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
They use them in screens. They use them in end arounds.
So Juwan Jennings, yes.
Juwan Jennings, yeah. I think so.
Do you have to be desperate?
I think you have to be desperate for
Debo or Tank Dell?
Oh, my gosh.
That's kind of an easy answer for me, but.
You're going to say Debo?
It's Debo, yeah, for me.
The only thing I'm going to say is that I can see it where, now because Debo, there's drama right now with Debo, and same thing with A.J. Brown, we'll get to that later, where they force him the ball. It seems like every time a wide receiver has a temper tantrum, they give him the ball.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. We talk about that all the time.
So I can see Debo.
Tantrum.
I can see him having a Debo game.
But now that I'm looking at his last 5 game log.
Terrible.
Wow, man. 22, 21, 20, 22 receiving yards.
I'm saying he might not even be rosterable.
0 touchdowns across 5.
Like let me put this out to you. I mean, you'll probably pick him up, but if someone dropped Debo,
yeah,
you're gonna pick him up.
I'd pick him up. I don't know.
Are you gonna start him?
Well, not over who I have if I'm in a playoff. Yeah, you're right.
It's hard to find where he should start.
6 targets, 7 targets, 4 targets, 5 targets, 3 targets. That's bad.
He's fallen. Something happened, and you can't say it's because of rapport. I mean, he's had Brock Purdy for a couple of years now, so I don't know what it is.
I know what happened, bro.
He got fat?
Juwan Jennings happened.
But Juwan Jennings was there last year, too.
Yeah, but Ayuk was in his fucking way. Sorry.
But
paying guys that don't even want to play. Sorry.
I think it's deeper than that. I think there's something behind the scenes that we don't know.
For Debo?
For the whole team, really. Yeah. I think there's something behind the scenes that's going on deeper that we just don't know and that we'll never know until maybe down the road. But
until we make a documentary on it.
Yeah, exactly. Or, someone reports it on a podcast or someone comes out with their feelings.
One last thing. Isaac Guerrero.
If he plays, I start him.
He had a limited practice today. It's Wednesday. They play tomorrow.
I think they're going to try to push him.
If he plays, you play him? Dude, doesn't it feel like whatever starting running back is for the 49ers is you got to start him?
Normally, yes.
He put up 36 last week.
Normally, yes.
Well, in the league.
Oh, okay,
in my Yahoo league, he was 36 on my bench.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, and then we do crazy bonuses.
But he was probably at least a 20-plus point scorer everywhere.
He's looked good since he's taken over.
Yeah.
I would start him. Yeah. I'm a little concerned that he's limited and they're going to push him to play and they limit his carries. So I am a little concerned about that. If you have better options, I'd go with them, obviously.
We'll play out the scenario that you talked about earlier. I think you're facing him.
I'm possibly facing him.
About
my brother has him.
Yes. About him or
Brees.
And how
I don't think Brees
has to be made.
And it's not looking good for Brees. I would play safe and probably play Guerrero.
If he plays, right?
If he plays.
Because you don't want to be going into Sunday and have Brees not play and be
right.
Like.
Now you got to start. Well, and again, it's not a bad. He picked up Isaiah Davis. That's not a bad option either. But
okay. So he has his handcuff.
But I'd rather start Guerrero over Isaiah Davis.
Yeah.
My one concern is that he gets limited touches because of his injury.
Yep. And Isaiah Davis is splitting with Braylon though. I don't think they just completely phased Braylon out.
It was 50-50 almost.
Yeah. I don't think they phased Braylon out.
It was as close to 50-50 as you could possibly get. It could
honestly even go the other way around where Braylon has the better game this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That hole was wide. Anyone could hit the hole that Isaiah Davis did.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's a great matchup against Jacksonville. But we'll get to that. I think Guerrero would be a good start if, again, he's got to be in your top 20. He's probably around that 20 range. So if you have 2 or even 3 guys in that top 20, then you don't sit or you don't start him. Yep. But if you have one guy and then Guerrero, I would start Guerrero.
And then George Kittle's yes.
George Kittle's a must start.
Yep. On the Rams side, you said Puka, you said Kyron, you said potentially Stafford.
Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
That's really it.
That's it. They don't have a tight end over there, really, that's worth anything.
That's the beauty about the Rams. You really know.
You just know the guys.
The ball is going to one of those 3 guys.
Yeah, you just know, yep.
Every now and then they'll throw in a random pass to DeMarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell. But for the 90% of the time, the ball is going to either Kupp, Puka, or Kyron Williams.
Yep.
Or incomplete.
You're right. It is the beauty. It is the beauty of the Rams.
I'm going to say this now, and we'll see if I feel this way again in about 6 months. I think Puka Nacua is like wide receiver 4 or 5 next year. Going into like
There's
when we
no
go into
reason-
draft,
There's no reason he won't be.
I have him, and this is the first time I didn't have him at all last year. The way they get him the ball, and like he's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's ahead of Cooper Kupp clearly.
Yep.
When he plays.
Yep.
I guess the problem and the concern is injury, but when he plays, he's incredible. Last week against the Bills, you can't double him either because the Rams are always motioning him, or they line up in the slot. And the Rams have such intricate ways of route running and how their patterns are connect. You know, the route was the word I'm looking for. The route combinations.
Yep.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Sorry. It's been a while. The route combinations for the Rams, it's impossible to double anyone. So that's the beauty of Puka Nacua. I think he will be a first-round pick next year. And I would put him right behind Chase, Jefferson, CD. He would be 4 for me right now, as of right now.
Don't hate it.
Don't want to get too far into the future.
Don't hate it. Yeah.
But Puka Nacua, he's an all-star.
I can't wait
Superstar.
for the episode where we make bold predictions for next season.
I can't wait.
This season's over. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
We'll schedule it.
Great. Yeah, we'll put our names on it.
Stand on the throne.
Stand on the throne. I think we can move on to the next game.
Yeah.
This one's. I feel like every week, almost whoever the Bills are playing, it's must-watch TV anyways because the Bills are
There's
playing.
some great games coming up.
Yes, but they have Bills and Lions this week. The Bills, for some reason, never want to win by a lot. I think they've only done it a few times this game where they blow people out.
Yeah, there's a couple.
They like to have some drama, so.
Well, that's just the style they play. It's
Right.
defense. It's run the ball. They're not an explosive offense necessarily.
They don't have the big guy anymore, the big
You're right.
big weapon threat on the outside.
But they still have more than enough to move the ball and score.
They still got Josh
20
Allen.
on you.
They still got Josh Allen, bro. That dude
Can-
is ridiculous.
Can I just own it now? I was way
Sure.
off on Josh Allen.
We didn't have to call it now.
I'm going to call it now. I was way off. Guys, that's, we'll get to it in another episode.
He's just so talented, bro. It didn't really matter the weapons that left.
We'll get into the recap. But I was wrong. I was way off on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Incredible quarterback. I will never doubt him again. I promise you. Next year, he will be in my top 3. I promise
crazy,
you.
Bro. He's crazy.
He's insane. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
It's almost, he actually got better without Stephon Diggs.
I didn't realize how high on the list of rushing touchdowns he already is for quarterbacks. He's number 2 now, I think. Behind only Vic, I think.
Cam.
Is it Cam?
It's Cam.
He passed Vic.
Yes.
So Cam is
leading. Cam Newton's the only one ahead now. Cam Newton, he might pass him. I mean, he's still got a ways to go, but Cam has a lot. But
he will.
What I didn't take for granted the rushing. For me, it was who's he going to pass to? But I'll give you your kudos. You had a great call on Khalil Shakir.
Let's go, Kalu.
It's just a receiver by committee. We're so used to a running back by committee.
Yep.
I think we're going to start moving into a wide receiver by committee kind of thing.
On some teams.
I think they got better without a number 1 receiver. I think we'd all agree Stephon Diggs was a number 1 receiver.
Yep.
And they got better.
Yep.
Gabe Davis, number 2 receiver.
Yep.
They got better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, maybe Gabe Davis, but I don't think anyone would argue Khalil Shakir is better than Stephon Diggs or Keon Coleman.
Agreed. And Matt Collins, not better than Gabe Davis.
Curtis Samuel.
Right, yeah.
Amari. They brought in Amari.
They did.
That's been great.
Yep.
But I don't think anyone would argue any of those guys are better than Stephon Diggs.
I do think that next year Keon Coleman is a name to really, really look at. He's been hurt a lot this year, but he's got the body type. I think he's got the want to.
He hasn't impressed me quite yet.
The guy's
he has the potential. 1
catch, 1 touchdown every week.
Exactly.
But I think he's got like I said, the body type is there. I think the game was a little too fast for him this year. I think going into an off season and coming, I'm going to target him. I think that's early sleeper for me.
And I'm not mad at you for that, but I
got no more love for you.
I think we're going to start seeing more of a wide receiver by committee thing. I think there's very few great receivers anymore. I think we're talking about maybe like 5, 6, 7 great receivers.
The names you just listed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And plus maybe a couple more. Sure. But after that, it gets kind of like it's really a step down in a tier. So I can see where guys want to start doing more of a wide receiver by committee. And sometimes it is addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
So Josh Allen.
Stephon and Josh, they didn't really hit it off.
They didn't pair.
Yeah, so
Stephon still had great numbers.
Yeah.
But it wasn't great for the team.
Right. Kind of like, we'll talk about them later, but will we? Yeah, we will. That's on the list. The Jalen A.J. Brown drama right now.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Bills, Lions.
But you know what's crazy? Real quick, too, last thing. There's only 2 players you're absolutely starting on the Bills. Excuse me. Josh Allen.
James Cook.
But I will say, I really like Khalil Shakir as a flex.
Mm-hmm.
If you have...
Bro, if you drafted Khalil Shakir, he's probably been in your flex spot all year. And then when wide receivers are on a bye, he probably slotted up in the wide receivers.
Or you're looking for a spot to start him, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to start Khalil because he's been better than whoever I have here.
Right.
Like Khalil Shakir, honestly, he's probably a top 15 wide receiver going forward. I would start Khalil Shakir over a lot of receivers.
He's been good, man.
If you have him, I honestly, you know what? And I said 2 must start. I'm going to change it. There's 3 must starts. You have to start Shakir. Shakir's been awesome.
Okay.
So even if he's your flex, like I don't care if you like. I'm starting Khalil Shakir over Devontae Smith.
I think he's more startable in a PPR.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, PPR.
Than a standard.
If it's PPR, yes, correct.
Yeah, because he doesn't get the deep targets at all.
Right.
I mean, he's around the line of scrimmage. Like,
he broke the one last week.
No one's business.
But he ran after like 60 yards of it.
Yeah. So he doesn't get the deep shot. So it's almost if it's PPR, automatic start.
He's a guaranteed 15.
If it's standard,
Yeah,
that's coming from a guy who
correct.
really likes him. You know what I mean? Last week he had 5 for 106, but the week before 4 for 30, 8 for 70, 6 for 58, 6 for 50. So with PPR numbers, pretty good.
He's been pretty awesome with PPR.
But if you're standard,
and yeah, look, I think there's quite a few. I'd start him over Marvin Harrison Jr. or start him over Devontae Smith.
Wow.
I'd start him over Tank Dell.
Wow.
I'm starting him over a lot of guys.
With Shakir.
He proved to me last week, I think.
Good for you, Khalil.
Last week I was like, wow, he's been awesome.
Good for you, Khalil.
I would say he's the number 1 in Buffalo, right?
I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
so 3 must starts.
They're attached to Josh Allen. Are you starting Amari Cooper?
It's hard to start Amari Cooper. I'm not going to this week. Detroit is not a bad matchup for fantasy.
Stand up.
But it's really hit or miss with Amari Cooper. You're really hoping he scores a touchdown. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't score a touchdown, he's a complete bust.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't risk it. It's one of those if you're desperate, sure. But
he had 14 targets last week.
Last week
6 catches, 95 yards.
Last week was the first week he finally got involved.
So prior to, yeah.
But I need to see more.
Yep.
I know. Hopefully they're starting to get that connection. But I don't know how much of the game you watched. There was still a couple where it was incomplete and there was just off page. Like Amari Cooper ran a curl and Josh Allen threw a go. Josh Allen threw an out. He ran in. So there was a couple where they're still not on the same page.
Yep.
We'll have to see. That gets better. But he got 14 targets last week also because they were playing from behind.
Yep.
And it was a shootout.
I think if you pick another wide receiver to potentially start for the Bills,
it's Amari Cooper.
If you're in an absolute desperate, like let's say you own George Pickens, who might not play this week.
Good call.
And if you give me another name that's hurt.
That's hurt.
Wide receiver wise, I'm trying to think. Pickens is one for sure.
The only one that I don't know why Cedric Tillman's coming to mind.
Yeah, so let's say you had Tillman as one of your starting 3 wide receivers and Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're down 2.
And you slide Amari Cooper in there.
Yeah, you got to maybe hope for Amari Cooper, right? DK Metcalf, I think, is hurt as well.
I think so, too.
He practiced in full today.
Oh, did he practice in full? Okay. Yeah, I can't think of a whole lot of injured wide receiver, but I'll start. Okay, here, let's have fun. Okay. Amari Cooper or Debo?
Debo. I'm a Niner.
You're still. I was gonna say you're still on Debo.
I know. I think you can't ask me that. I really think Debo. The offense is different when he's on the field. I think, to be honest, they're using him as a decoy a lot.
Yeah,
a lot, and it kind of sucks for him.
Well, he's probably seeing the number ones now. I'd be interested to see down the stretch if the number 1 corners start going to Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, right.
But I will say this in Amari Cooper's favor as well. It's another possible shootout with Detroit.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So this can be another high-scoring game where they're passing the ball a lot because it's hard to run on Detroit.
Yep.
So I can see that.
You should probably start Amari Cooper.
I just talked you into it.
I can't let my bias. My bias gets in the way sometimes. You did say the Rams-Niners could be a shootout, but
I think we're going to see quite a few shootouts this week.
the Bills are also at Lions. Let's go to the other side of the ball. I mean, Goff, yes.
You know, I'm going to say yes, and only
because of his opponent and the chances of a shootout.
Well, last week, that and Stafford, the Bills' defense just looked like the Bills' passing defense has been solid pretty much all year. This is the first week where they kind of looked like, so I can see something similar as to last week. Maybe not 45. I think the Rams put up 45. I'll tone it down a little bit, but I can see Jared Goff having a good game.
Yep.
I can see Jameson Williams having a good game.
Yep.
And you have to start him. I'm a little concerned about Amon-Ra. He has not been that great lately. I had his numbers up. Let me pull them up again.
All right, while you're pulling up Amon-Ra, I think you start both the running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs that dude is one of the most electric players to enter the league in a long time. He is at the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is, his first step is lightning.
I want to see him be a workhorse so bad.
I do too.
So bad.
I do too. He's so good.
And
He's
I would have
so
drafted
talented.
him more if he was a workhorse.
Yeah, and see, I was scared of that too, but I think now
it doesn't matter.
No, you just drafted him, dude. The guy, what's his yards per carry? Give me on Monra and I'll find the stuff on
So
Gibbs.
last 3 games, Amon-Ra, fantasy points PPR 12, 12, 10. He yardage wise, it's not terrible. It's 62, 73, and 43. He hasn't gotten in the end zone in the last 3 games. His targets have gone down, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Let me take a look. Yeah, I think the biggest problem is the targets for me. Like you would look up previously, Amon-Ra, 11 targets, 8 targets, 18 targets, 8 targets. Last 3 games, 7, 7, and 6. So he's just been really pretty. He's 7 targets, 6 catches, 7 targets, 5 catches, 6 targets, 5 catches. So
it's not heavily involved.
he needs a higher volume. Well, for who he is, and that's what I'm trying to don't think I'm saying he's just a complete bust. I'm not saying that. For where he was drafted, for who he is, for who you're relying him to be on, he's been a little bit of a.
Well, you'd like double-digit targets for him.
He's a guy that you expect 20.
Yeah.
In PPR.
Yeah.
You expect 6 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. That's 20 points right there.
Yep.
You that's who he is. So you gotta. While I'm not saying you're gonna bench it, you're obviously not benching Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I would be a little concerned because he has tough matchups too. So Buffalo, 22nd against receivers.
Yep.
Then he's got at Chicago, so possible weather.
Yep.
Second least points to receivers, and then at San Francisco, who's been the 6th least points to wide receivers.
Yeah.
So he has a bit of a tough schedule. I'd be a little concerned about him. Again, there's nothing you can do. You can't bench him. You can't get. But if you're playing against Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'd be a little excited. Be like, okay, he's been a little bit struggling.
Right.
They're playing tough opponents the next few weeks.
Yep.
I'd be happy
if
I'm playing Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Yep. Last week was the first week that Jahmyr Gibbs looked human. He only averaged 2.9 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
He did add a receiving touchdown on 6 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown, so he saved you a little bit in PPR and the touchdown reception. But the dude averages 5.7 yards per carry.
I want to say Thanksgiving.
Has 10 touchdowns.
He had a Thanksgiving. He struggled a little bit. Oh no, he had a good average, but he didn't score. So that was I guess he was missing the touchdown. So never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, dude, 9 for 87.
He scores pretty much every game too.
Yes,
that's the beauty of him.
9 for 87 ain't struggling.
No. But I'm just he only had 10 fantasy points. So he was missing the catches and the touchdown.
Yeah, he only had 2 catches that day too.
Yeah.
No, but I think he's a must start. I mean, you can't. Obviously, I think you start him.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Again, you're not benching him.
And then Montgomery too. I think you start him. I don't like Montgomery, but the dude's a touchdown machine. He has 12 touchdowns on the year.
I'm gonna tell you, Montgomery's awesome. Montgomery is the perfect RB2 or flex. I have him in one league, and he's a flex. Love him.
I think the only reason I don't like him is because he's in Gibbs' way.
I hear you on that.
But he's not, though.
I don't have Gibbs.
Because I think he's a starting caliber running back.
I don't have Gibbs in any league, and I have Montgomery in one, so I love Montgomery.
Yeah.
There's times where Montgomery looks really good, too, and actually better running the ball.
That's what I mean. I think he is a starting caliber running back.
Yeah.
That's a great problem to have in Detroit, and they're
They're going to have it for a couple more years, too. Montgomery is still young.
Yep.
I think at least for one more.
Only 27.
At least for one more year for sure.
Yeah, unless they make a trade.
There's no way. They just extended him.
Yeah, why would they trade?
They're not gonna.
This offense is just – it's
the
fun
way
to watch.
Dan Campbell wants it.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch. It's gritty. Great.
Yeah, they're trying to bite kneecaps off.
And then, I love that quote. And then Sam Laporta, obviously best tight end in the league to ever play.
Why are we doing this?
Honestly, though, a lot of people that drafted Sam Laporta might be in the playoffs. Not because of him.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, where he was drafted, if you drafted around him properly, you might be in the playoffs. So
would you put him I want to say top 10.
He's super touchdown dependent at this season.
Would you say there's 10 tight ends you might want to start over him this week? 10 might be high. I wanted to say 7,
I don't
but
think so.
I think 5 for sure.
Yeah, 5 for sure.
I reached out and said 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I roll him out there. Although, you know, you look at guys like Alcantara for the Eagles, who replaced Dallas Goedert.
I'd rather go with Laporta.
And had a touchdown last week.
The thing with the tight end position, unless you have Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
It's so top heavy.
Everyone else is kind of a gamble. Jonnu.
Yep.
Everyone else is kind of a gamble. Would you start Laporta or Njoku?
Laporta
or TJ Hawkinson?
TJ's actually been decent, hasn't he? Since he's
he's
that
been
whole
solid.
passing offense has been pretty good.
I mean, tight ends it's a crapshoot anyway.
I would probably start Laporta.
The tight end economy has gotten a little better than the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But it's still
tight end day helped it.
It definitely did. That was the start of it.
Laporta over Hawkinson.
I would say Laporta. He's probably towards the end of that top 10.
You know.
So if you have him, you're playing him. Unless you got lucky and picked up Jonnu, then
what a pickup. If you got, I got him in a league where I'm not in the playoffs, but I was able to get him off a waiver wire. Man,
you're like crushing over Jonnu.
Dude, it's been great running him out there every week.
They don't even know. You've been talking about Jonnu since I got here.
It's crazy.
That's all you've been talking about.
It's crazy. He's a good-looking cat.
Dude, did you see Jonnu this week?
Yeah, dude, he's great.
Jonnu's awesome. You see his second half?
It is wild how much they use him, though. Like,
no, Jonnu's been awesome.
I'm like, wait, that used to be a play that they would run for Tyreek, and now they're running it for Jonnu Smith? Like,
it's crazy.
Like the double, they'll do like a bubble screen to the tight end. I'm like, whoa.
I hate that I didn't catch it before either, but he fits because he's a speed tight end.
Yeah, he's fast. Yeah, he's a fast.
He's not a blocking tight end.
No,
he's
not
a route runner.
That whole offense is quicker than fast, bro.
He's just fast.
It's insane.
I hate that I didn't catch it before, but Jonnu's been awesome.
Hey, we can't catch them all, Pokemon. I lost my train of thought now because of Pokemon.
So you're starting the 2 running backs from Detroit.
Yep, for sure.
Amon-Ra, you have to start.
Mm-hmm.
You
Jameson
think
Williams?
Laporta?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have Laporta, unless you have one of those other guys that we talked about.
So I'll ask you, because I do have another wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who do I start at? Let me get to my team.
Why does Kyle Pitts suck?
That's $1 million question that I could never answer.
Cousins also isn't good now.
I can never. So here, let me give you this real quick.
Sorry,
because I don't even want to talk about Kyle Pitts. 3 wide receiver start. I have Nico. He's obviously starting.
Yep.
Who do I start from this group? 2 of them.
Okay.
Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Jalen Waddle. Jameson Williams. That's a good one, huh?
You got pick 2 of those 3, right?
2 of those 3.
I would probably go with the guys that you probably have in your lineup right now, which is probably Waddle and Smith.
Good call. You know me too well.
And just let Jameson Williams sit on your bench, and if he goes off, he goes off.
I've been thinking about starting Jameson over Devontae.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
No, my only fear with Devontae is he's very touchdown dependent. And then I think with AJ Brown saga, AJ Brown's gonna have 100 catches this week. But anyways,
yeah,
Jameson Williams is one of those. He's on the fringe of you can start him, but he's about 50-50. Whether you start when you see playoff teams starting or sitting him.
Yeah, Tim Patrick took all the love last week.
Touchdown. He took the touchdowns.
He had 7 targets too, I think.
He's actually been pretty
ridiculous.
Crazy that Denver let him go. But anyways,
5 catches, 80 yards last week for Jameson Williams.
He was solid.
5 for 64 2 weeks before that. 4 for 124 3 weeks before that.
He's been pretty solid.
He's had 53. Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong if you start with those names. Let's go look. I'm gonna go look. At
He's had a couple games where he's been a complete bust.
Oh yeah,
and he's had a couple games where he's just like, doesn't meet expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been pretty solid, and that's why I'm thinking about starting him over Devontae's.
Devonta 4 for 37 and a tut.
Like, so if you take that touchdown away, 7 points.
Only 4 for 29, 2 for 14, then 4 for 87 and a tut, 6 for 85. He's touchdown dependent. You're right.
Yeah, in the last 3 games, he's been terrible, except for the 1 touchdown.
Eagles have who this week? Steelers,
and it's a tough
I would
matchup.
maybe play Jameson Williams. They're at home against the Bills.
I think talking it out made it better for me.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna throw Jameson in there.
Yeah, over Devonta.
Yeah,
Wow.
wild.
Look at that. We are making changes live on the program.
This is why I've saved these.
On the program.
I was like, I need to talk about these. I need to talk these out loud.
Yeah, that was good. I think we can move on from Bills Lions.
Let's do it.
We'll segue into the game we were just talking about with Devonta Smith. Steelers, Eagles.
What an interesting game.
Yeah. Pickens likely out.
I think George Pickens is out.
Yep. A lot of people are saying that.
It's a great matchup. Not a whole lot of fantasy points, I don't think. The one exception, A.J. Brown's going to go off.
Only exception you.
This has been a karaoke session all night.
I need sound drops.
Oh, my bad. Which one is it? I don't know.
I need songs.
Okay. Yeah, we should put some songs on there instead.
We should.
But I don't see a whole lot of points. Obviously, you're starting Saquon. You're starting Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
A.J. Brown is obviously starting, but I truly think I hate when a wide receiver throws his temper tantrum and he gets his way.
It happens every time.
He's going to get 10 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it happens every time.
And I hate it, even against your boy Joey Porter. I know he's a good cornerback, but it's A.J. Brown.
Can us average human beings throw temper tantrums at work and then get our way?
I don't think that's how it works, unfortunately. I tried one time. It didn't work.
Damn.
So, unfortunately, we're not diva wide receivers. We're not, we can't be about me.
I'm a diva videographer.
And there's so many opinions on this, and there's I hear people blaming Jalen Hurts and people blaming AJ Brown. It just depends on what side you're on. I do hate that AJ Brown is doing this while they're winning and clearly one of the best teams in the league.
Right.
I also hear Jalen Hurts isn't the most approachable. Well, he doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be.
I know he's a quarterback. He should be. You want your quarterback to be likable and personality and stuff like that. Does he have to be that? No. Can other guys be that for him? Yeah. And Philly had a good locker room, but now it might not just be meshing because you got lost guys like Kelsey. Yep. Brandon Graham's out for the year.
Right.
Those guys who were leaders in the locker room,
glue, if you will,
they're missing now. Yep. So, they're going to come out and say, "Oh, everything's fine with us." That's what they're going to say.
I can see Jalen. He does seem a bit unapproachable.
He's very off-putting.
Yeah.
Jalen's just about him. And then, I'm not saying he's a selfish guy, but he is at the same time. Jalen Hurts is all about what's best for him at first, and then the team second.
He's kind of like, teammates didn't like Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was not very approachable.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to respect him, and maybe that's where the rift between AJ and maybe AJ's like, I don't got to respect this guy.
And people are asking, well, Gabe, how do you know Jalen Hurts is like that? I have my sources. I know people.
Yeah.
I know people in Philly.
Yeah.
I know people that are Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I know way too many Eagles fans. I don't know how this happened.
You know Nick Sirianni.
I wish. I actually know. I wish I knew Dom. I wish I knew the security guy.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be friends with. Big Dom. But no, there's obviously reports I hear. There's things I hear. And I do have people that live in Philadelphia, family members that I talk to, and I hear this about. It's just, what do you believe from the media? What don't you believe? I see these things. I see his body language. Oh, yeah. So next time you're watching Eagles, just watch him. Watch his body language.
No, I know.
And while
I do, I watch him a lot because I have Saquon.
Yeah. So while A.J. Brown is not in the right here because you're winning, but he's not wrong either.
Yeah.
So, and I've never thought Jalen Hurts was a great passer of the ball anyway.
Yeah.
He's not a timing quarterback. He's not a pocket quarterback.
I don't really see Jalen Hurts celebrating with anyone on game days.
He doesn't.
And he doesn't really crack a smile. You don't really see the guy smile. He's a competitor, right?
Yeah.
But I just think it's two big personalities that are struggling to come together.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, Jalen Hurts he's been dealing with this since Alabama. I mean, look at from Alabama. You can even look back to Alabama days where he thought he should have been starting over Tua.
Yep.
So it's just, whether he's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You got to be about the team.
Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa on the same college team.
Oh man, I saw a picture with there was 3 of them. I think at the time Mac Jones was good, but Mac Jones was part of it too.
Yeah, insane. And then Joe Burrow and Justin Fields on the same college team.
At Ohio State?
Burrow left Ohio State, if I remember.
Yeah. No, I know.
correctly.
And Justin Fields.
Yeah.
No way.
I think that's why he left to go to LSU, because I think Fields was projected to
really
take the job. I think. I could be wrong.
I'm not a big college guy. I'm getting into it more.
Into that, but I was like, whoa.
The college playoff excites me more this year, so I've gotten into it more.
With the 12 teams,
but, wow.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I have to go back and look. I could be wrong, and I'm sure AJ will let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But
AJ might not know. AJ doesn't know. But no, he has a tough matchup too. Jalen Hurts has a tough matchup. I don't see a lot of fancy points here. You can't get away from your studs. But if I'm playing against, I'm actually playing against Jalen Hurts in 3 leagues. 3 of my 4 playoff matchups.
And you're feeling okay about it.
I'm feeling great about it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like Jalen Hurts goes for 10 to 15 points. And I love that.
Wow.
Hopefully they don't get too many tush push opportunities for the end zone, but because that's the only thing that could really kill you.
Man, the tush push takes so many touchdowns away from Saquon.
That's another thing. Let your running back score, man.
Yeah.
Stop being so selfish.
Yeah. Hey, he doesn't make that play call.
I know.
He might.
Yeah, he might.
He might be like, hey, tush push time.
But Saquon also doesn't care. He's very
Saquon is
selfless.
the opposite. Yeah.
So Saquon
totally the opposite.
wants the team to eat.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if Gainwell does the work for a couple carries,
he doesn't care.
He says
he's happy.
He'll
for
tell
him.
coach leave 14 out there for a couple more.
Right.
Let him get the chance to score.
Right.
He actually said that in a post game scrub.
Yeah. No, he's awesome.
And I'm like, man, this dude is.
Saquon's awesome.
Saquon is legit.
Giants are idiots.
The Giants are.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's where we can stop the Giants conversation.
Here's the question of the day.
Yeah.
Do you start anyone on the Steelers side of the ball if Pickens is out? There's not a must start, right? Everyone's like,
No.
maybe you start him if you have to, Freiermuth, Najee.
Yeah, okay, Freiermuth, yes.
You think Freiermuth is a must start?
I think with the way tight ends are, yeah. If you have Freiermuth on your roster, I don't know what other tight end you have on your roster.
I mean, yeah, also depends on that.
He's been good. He's been good.
No, he's been okay.
Fries.
Yeah. Been way better with Russ.
Do you start? See, man, the tight end is such a tough position.
I'd start Freiermuth over certain guys.
Would you start him over the other side's tight end, Alcantara?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Najee, you're possibly starting if you're.
I was going to ask about
hurt.
The 2 Steelers running backs.
He's a flex play if possible.
You start him or Warren, either of them.
Again, if you're in a deep league and you're desperate and you have Najee,
yeah, you own Breece Hall and you own.
Yeah, I'd rather have Najee over Debo. I'd rather have Najee over Tank.
Najee, dude, plodding his way to 3.9 yards per carry. 5 touchdowns on the year.
He hasn't been great. His performance is not great, but he gets volume. He gets touches.
He cost me that.
I know.
Even the bet, dude. I
know.
told you, I said, if he costs me tonight,
you're done with him.
Officially done.
I know.
And I am now officially done with Najee Harris.
I know. But
Jalen Warren.
He's a guy you can start if you have to.
Plotting his way to 4.1 yards per carry.
There's a lot of guys I'd rather start. Don't get me wrong. Those are guys we're talking after top 20, 25.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's enough. If Pickens is out, I don't think there's a must start. You're definitely not. Well,
this is the one game.
Russ dub? Dangerous? Probably not, right?
You were just asking me if you can cut him.
If you're in the if you're in the playoffs, you have your quarterback.
Yeah.
You would think. Yeah.
Yes. This is the one game where I can see not a lot of fancy points. I think Saquon gets his still. I'm not saying a big game from Saquon, but he still gets his 15.
Yeah.
You still got to start Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
I'm cutting us off with one more game only.
Okay.
We're at an hour 5.
Damn.
Do you want to cover Packers, Seahawks, Bucks, Chargers, or Chiefs, Browns?
Let's do Seahawks Packers.
All right. Yep.
I think that's the next best matchup.
Okay.
And I think that was the one of the 4 we said.
It was. Yep. Jordan Love overrated.
Speak on it.
No, I just think he's not as good as people hoped, I would say. But for fantasy purposes, I'm not sure you can start him.
Geno Smith or Jordan Love?
Boy.
For fantasy.
Yeah. If you're in the playoffs, are you dealing with this scenario?
You might. I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
12-man league, you might.
Man.
Because you got to think, people drafted Jordan Love to be a starter.
And it's at Seattle.
Jordan Love was drafted around like
I know he
QB
was.
9,
I know
10,
he
8.
Yeah.
You know, people had high expectations for him.
It's at Seattle?
Yes, it is in Seattle.
I have Jordan Love's game log in front of me. I don't have Geno's. With that knowledge, I'm going to say Geno.
Really? I'll pull up Geno for you.
206 yards passing, 274, 163, 261, 273 for Jordan Love.
You're just going off the passing yards?
But he did have 1 tut, 2 tut, 2 tut, 1 tut.
So I'll say this. The last 3 weeks, Geno Smith has 1 touchdown.
Only?
No, in each game.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
3 touchdowns. Each game, he has 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
He has 1 game against the Rams with 3 touchdowns. Every single game, he has at least 1 passing touchdown, except for 2. Last 4 weeks, he has, I'm going to say, an average of 225 yards around there, off the top of my head. Because 233, 206, 254, 221.
They're basically the same guy.
I think I'd rather go Love just because the potential is more there. I know a lot of people are mad at Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
I think
wow.
Jaden Reed
I hope he bounces back.
I think he has a good game this week.
He hurt a lot of folks last week.
I think, and that's the thing. I think he set people up. But we're going to make the playoffs, and then Jaden Reed's going to have a good week. I called it. Jaden Reed was one of my receivers to target.
Yeah, and I targeted him. I went out and got him.
I said he's going to have a tough regular season the rest of the way. I think
You did.
I might have.
You did.
But his playoffs,
Yep.
great.
Yep.
So let's see what he does on Sunday.
Yep.
I think Jaden Reed's going to have a good week, though.
I think Romeo Dubs is supposed to be back as well, which I think actually helps Jaden Reed.
To an extent, yep.
Because I think Reed gets to slide inside more.
Well, because Dontavius Wicks is kind of a slot too. Kind of.
And I think when I was watching them play, I think I saw Reed lining up outside maybe and Wicks on the slot.
And Jaden Reed should literally just be in the slot.
Yeah, and think with Dubs coming back, it'll be Watson Dubs on the outsides. And then Reed will be the slot guy, and Wicks will be the odd man out.
And Wicks will be the odd man out. He'll rotate here and there, but
if Dobbs plays, he's still in concussion protocol, but he practiced. Weird, I don't get it.
I think he'll play.
Yeah, I think
he'll
missed
play.
2 weeks now with it. So
yeah,
hopefully he does. Shout out Rome.
But yeah, I think Jaden Reed's going to surprise some people and have a really good week. He could be a fantasy winner for you for championships. So hang in there. I know Jaden Reed had a bad week last week. I know 0. But can only go up from here.
Can only go up from 0.
I have you know what? I'm gonna call right now.
Over under jersey number and fantasy points. He wears 11.
Over.
Okay.
I'm gonna call my shot right now. First play, Packers offense, pass Jaden Reed, complete for 8 yards.
All right, let's dive into further detail. Is it play action?
It's play action because Josh Jacobs has been balling.
Okay.
So play action off Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
You're probably playing the run on first down.
Are you
play action?
Is it a hitch out? Is it a just straight up the seam?
Let's get crazy. Let's go. I'm gonna go play action.
Post middle.
Play action woggle.
Okay.
I don't know what people call it these days, but in Madden's play action woggle. So you're gonna have Jaden Reed on the left side.
Yeah.
Play action that way. Jaden Reed's gonna run behind the lineman, squeeze out to the flat.
Okay.
Kind of like an arrow to the flat.
Yep.
Jordan Love's going to dump it off. 8 yards.
To him. 8 yards.
8 yards.
All right. I was hoping you'd say 80 yards.
Let's go.
Fine. Eight's fine.
Or a slant. It's going to be a slant. One of the two.
Okay.
First play, Jaden Reed. Calling it right now.
All right. I'm going to take all of my money that I have in crypto and put it on Jaden Reed first reception of the game.
We're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. I actually might do that. I'm going to look into that, actually.
I'm
Not with my
curious if you can actually
Bet that?
Play that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could.
I'm sure you can.
Somewhere.
The amount of bets that you could do.
I bet you the Westgate takes it.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Jake,
that's great. We had to get that was fun.
That was fun.
That was a fun little game.
That's what this is
there.
about, man.
Yeah, that was a fun little game.
Josh Jacobs is going to be awesome.
Josh Jacobs, a stud.
Are
you starting Christian Watson? He finally did stuff, right? I mean, he's caught some deep balls.
You know, as crazy, like you said, Romeo Doubs helps Jaden Reed.
Yep.
I think Romeo Doubs hurts Christian Watson.
Sure.
Which is crazy because just a couple years ago, we all thought Christian Watson was the best receiver in this group.
Yep.
And now it's clearly Jaden Reed. And Christian Watson's almost just – he's just there. And he has his games.
So he had 7 targets last week.
Last week was great.
Prior to only 4 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets, and then 7 again a month ago.
He's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, he's a tough start. He's a real tough start.
I would have to be so desperate.
The only wide receiver I feel comfortable starting in Green Bay is Jaden Reed. And that's funny because he's coming off a goose egg.
I'd have to be so desperate to start Christian Watson.
And we both agree. Still Jaden Reed coming off a goose egg. Yeah, I agree.
He's the guy. And I'm gonna call another shot. Mm-hmm. I think Tucker Kraft has a good week.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft, that's a tight end that we haven't talked about much.
He's quietly top 10.
Yeah, he's a starter, and I'd probably him or Freiermuth.
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
Ask me Tucker Kraft or Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews or Tucker Kraft?
Tucker Kraft.
Wow.
Ask me Sam Laporta or Tucker Kraft.
Stop.
I'm going Tucker Kraft.
Stop.
Tucker
I know
Kraft
Laporta's been bad. I know.
Has been pretty solid, actually.
Yeah, 3 for 41 and a touchdown.
For tight ends, yeah.
2 for 26 and a touchdown. 6 for 78.
Like, he's either getting volume or he's scoring a touchdown.
He had 0 against the Bears.
Okay, that was like a month ago.
It happened.
Yeah,
it just happened.
Mark Andrews did 2 in a row.
Yeah, right. I know.
So it happened. Yeah. But for tight ends, I'm saying Tucker Kraft.
Right.
I have a feeling he's going to have a big week this week, though.
This year might change the way I draft tight ends, my strategy. I'm a big wait on tight end guy.
Now you're going to be even longer wait?
I don't know because Laporta screwed me.
I don't want any tight end early next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
You want to hear?
It won't. Maybe it won't change it.
Real quick, fun fact of tight end. Fun fact of the day, tight end.
Yep.
Trey McBride. Do you know how many touchdowns he has on the year?
I think he's touchdownless, correct?
He has 0 touchdowns on the year. Yeah. He's like tight end 2 or something.
Yeah. He gets the ball.
He might be number 1. Or no, he's behind Brock Bowers.
He gets the ball a lot.
But I'm pretty sure he's 2.
Get in the end zone.
He gets so many for tight ends. He gets so many catches, so many yards. He's like he's the number 1 in Arizona.
They either Kyler runs it in, James Conner runs it in, or I think they really pepper Marvin Harrison down
He's
there.
the number 1. Trey McBride's the number 1 in Arizona. Over Marvin Harrison.
What do you mean?
Number 1 option.
No, I'm saying in the red zone.
Oh, in the red zone. Okay, sorry.
I think they run Kyler Murray in. They'll run James Conner in.
Or they don't score.
Or they pepper Marvin Harrison, and they do it for 3 plays in a row, and he doesn't catch any of them. And then they're kicking they're kicking a field goal.
I'd be curious what their red zone percentage is.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
It's got to be down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up
because they struggle down there. Seems like.
Yeah.
So.
They do. Like I said, I think they force feed Marvin, who we've learned this year with Marvin Harrison, he can do it.
It's just gonna take some time.
But he gets bodied a lot, like physically, and he's not there yet. He gets kind of. He's not winning jump balls really at all.
I'm not. He needs to be better. Correct. I'm gonna put more of the blame on Kyler.
Can't blame Kyler.
Kyler has not been great. Well,
that's my little.
That's it. Get bigger.
That's my little. Goat.
Get big, little homie.
That's my cod,
as they say.
Homie, dude.
Listen, He has not been good this year. He's almost like the CJ Stroud, but he's been a little better than CJ.
After 4 weeks, it was like, is Kyler going to be MVP this year? Remember, like he started.
He had a good start.
Just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was the one. I think it was Buffalo.
Yeah, had a perfect.
He had a great game.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, oh yeah, Kyler's back. And then this is kind of. So I don't know if I fully blame Marvin Harrison Jr. But another topic for another day.
Yeah.
My bad. We get off topic a little bit sometimes, but that's fine.
Okay, so now we are.
I think we could call. I mean,
Josh Jacobs, Seattle. Yeah,
because Seattle on this. I mean,
DK, you're starting.
You're starting. Jackson Smith and Jigba has been great, by the way.
Yep.
Spoiler alert: I think he's going to be top 10 wide receiver next year. We're gonna draft him in the top 10. Right, receivers. I can see him going second round.
Okay. Don't hate it.
And I guess it depends what they do at
I was
quarterback.
just trying to blow wind in the microphone.
DK Kenneth Walker, if he plays, you gotta start him.
If he doesn't,
Charbonnet's been great.
do you run Charbonnet out there?
I love Charbonnet.
You start him?
I
though?
do.
Yeah.
I would start Charbonnet over quite a few guys if Kenneth Walker's out.
No
Other-
Fant.
All right, we can wrap it up now.
Yeah. Cool. In my keeper league, my tight ends are a real struggle.
Oh, God.
Noah Fant is one of my tight ends. And we play 2 tight ends.
That's disgusting.
Him and Jatavion Sanders.
That's so
Carolina.
disgusting.
He's good.
I know who
Jatavion
both of them
Sanders
are.
is good.
No, I do like Jatavion possibly as a sleeper next year.
See? And I got him as he's a keeper.
Own a dynasty. Okay, that's fair.
Dynasty.
That's fair.
Keeper, dynasty, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, hey, thanks.
But it's still disgusting.
I try to end every episode with you giving me a compliment.
You can get rid of Noah Fant. Like
I know.
you can.
I know. I just don't have anyone else that's healthy. Like my guys are all hurt. So
I almost rather have Michael Myers
I have
than
Isaiah Likely, which again in dynasty,
disgusting. Yeah,
once
maybe.
Mark Andrews, fizzles out
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, they get rid of him this year.
See, look, check. Gabe compliment Al. We can end the episode now.
You heard it here first.
He
Mark
said that.
Andrews won't be in Baltimore next year.
He said, "Good job, Al."
So keep Likely on your dynasty teams.
I hope he does. I hope they don't get it. Dude, Mark Andrews is Baltimore.
I think they give. I know, but I think they give up on him.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what the contract is like.
at some point you have to, right? A player, even if they're
Listen,
Yeah.
you give up on a lot of guys. In the offseason, there's always guys that surprise you. I think Mark Andrews is going.
we almost gave up on this podcast, dude. It's been 3 weeks. This is week 4. It would have been if we didn't do it.
We're going to take this more serious next year.
It was my fault. I'll tell them why we
Yeah.
missed really quick.
I wasn't going to blame you.
The first week was strep throat.
Yeah,
Correct.
you got sick.
Was it strep throat? Was that week the first week? We missed 3 in a row, and I only have excuses for 2 that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think you got strep.
Oh no, it was strep throat.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was
Georgia.
to go visit Baby Bro at a
Georgia.
boot camp. Shout out Baby Bro.
I was going to ask, how's he doing, though?
Real
Real
proud
quick.
of him. I got
Doing good?
You got an Army Brothers sticker right here. Yeah, man. He it's a struggle.
Shout out to Baby King.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Good guy. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
It's a struggle. It's boot camp. You know what I mean? But he gets to come home for a couple weeks over winter break.
Yeah.
And then he's back there for 7 weeks.
As long as he's doing good, man.
Yeah, he's happy.
all you can be
he's
happy
happy
for.
that he did it. It's just a real challenge. So
Yeah.
And then last week I had to work. So here we are.
Was this not work?
Episode 14. I wish it was. That means we'd be getting paid.
I'm going to listen. Yeah, we're going to be more serious about this. And
Yeah.
I
We
think
have a more permanent setup here. We're gonna dress it up a little bit, hopefully, and get more things in motion. So,
we hope everyone enjoy it. We're gonna go next week too. 2 weeks is Christmas, so we'll probably be all
Yeah.
next week actually might be the last one for the season
potentially, yeah,
because it's
Yep.
Christmas and then New Year's.
Yep. And then we could do kind of like
We'll figure it out though.
off-season podcast,
Yeah.
fantasy, once every month or something.
We can try something. We'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
I just want to let people we're gonna try to do that. Like next year, we're gonna be serious about this. So like, if you enjoy it, we try to do this for you guys as well. We enjoy it as well though. So this is fun for us, and we hope it's fun for you guys. So, next year, give us a shout out, man. Give us, we're gonna be more on social media. We're gonna do more episodes. This year, we just kind of wanted to mess with it and see what we can do and see if we have something. So we think we have something here.
If you run a small business and you want to run sponsored reads on this,
Takes time.
we'll do it.
Oh yeah,
We'll do it.
We'll do it for anyone. It don't
on
matter.
the low, and hopefully it'll help with our viewership and
We're
let's do it.
we're very buyable.
Yeah, we are very viable. That is correct. We should get a sign right there. Very viable.
For sale. Where's his for sale? He's got to have a for sale around here. So there it is.
He does. Like sponsorship.
For sale.
Yeah, for sale. That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Well, episode 14 is a wrap. Good luck in your playoff.
Good luck, everybody.
We are in week 15.
I hope you go 2-0.
I hope I go 2-0. I hope.
Well, you have a bye week. So
I do.
1-0.
Yep. And I hope you go
4-0.
4-0.
I would be so excited if I go 4-0. I'm hoping for 3-1.
If you go 4-0 and we do this episode next week, it's going to be amazing.
I'm going to be even more excited than I am today, and I was very excited today.
We'll show up with those like wazoo, the little party thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with 3-1.
Don't know what that motion was. I just paused. Jeez, please, someone don't clip that. Wow.
Clip it. Put it on the short.
Wow.
Make it a short. If I go 2-2, I'll accept it. 1-3, I'll be disappointed. 0-4, I might not even show up next week.
Oh, man.
So those are the possibilities.
Speaking of, really quick before we wrap, Ray isn't here with us this week. Hopefully he will be with us next week. Dealing with some things that he has to deal with.
Shout out to Ray.
Shout out Ray. He'll be back hopefully next week, and we can talk. Curious how many fantasy playoffs he made.
We'll have to ask. Shout out to USAA too.
USAA. Yeah. Shout out Gronk.
Shout out to Gronk and oh my God, what's the actor's name? Sam.
Oh man, Sam. I can't think of
Oh
it.
my
Sam
God.
No, yeah, I can't think of
We're
it.
gonna get murdered for that one.
Yes, we are. Sam himself is gonna come kill us.
Golly, what is his name? So, anyways,
Light up the tree, bro.
how do you do that?
Push
Oh,
that button.
look at the. Oh, you gotta hold it.
Yep. Look at that. Thank you guys for
Fa
watching.
la 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 la
episode
la
14.
la.
Enjoy the holiday season. Good luck in fantasy football.
Good luck,
playoff
everyone.
matchups. Until next time.
Get those W's.
Peace.